Hey guys, Scott here. We have a couple of patch notes for Jason going from PTB to live. Sorry if I sound weird. My nose is so stuffed up that I cannot even breathe through it, so I am going to sound even more nasally and nerdy than I normally do. I apologize for that, but first let's go into what actually changed. Overall, I'd say it's like a side grade to possibly minor nerf. A lot of these things are such niche interactions that it's not really a big deal that they were nerfed, but it's also one of those things where it's not like he was like a super oppressive killer, so nerfing anything about him kind of doesn't really make sense in my opinion. But again, a lot of these things are very minor, so let's go into that. The first one, pinned rescues are no longer considered healing actions. So there was an interaction that was found that if you had like a healing perk on, you could rescue pinned survivors faster because it would apply to that bar. I think this is more of like a bug fix than anything. Like it's not a healing action. You're not healing them. You're removing them from a tree that they're, pinned on. So I think this is more of just an interaction that wasn't supposed to happen to begin with. So I'd say this is more of a fix than a nerf. But even so, when I play Jason, not a single time did I ever have another survivor unpin someone from a wall. It's a pretty rare scenario in my opinion. So I don't think this is like a huge deal, but it is, very, very slightly nerfed, but I'm going to lean it more towards just being a bug fix. Next, the killer husk attack now activates with a slight delay and is no longer instant upon reappearing. So a lot of people don't even really know what this means. People found out that when you went into Omnipresent Evil, you basically hit anybody that was touching your character model. So if you press control, you would just go backwards and hit somebody at the same time. Now, I experimented with this a lot. It doesn't work on people that are running away from you. You can't get like a free hit and then fuck off at the same time. It doesn't work like that. It really only works for people that are standing still, which is basically, I think this was meant to basically help with body blocking. If someone's body blocking, you can, do that, hit the person body blocking and phase through them kind of in the same overall motion. I think that's the whole point, and that won't really be changed too much. They're just adding a slight delay for that. I don't really think they needed a delay anyway because the range is so tiny anyway. Like I said, it only works on survivors that are just straight up standing still. So I don't really think they needed to do this. Is it going to change much? Not really. I can count on one hand the amount of times I actually got a hit doing that, and most of those were just testing the range of it. So it's not a huge deal, but it is a useful technique when you're getting body blocked, and this will be slightly less effective, but as long as that survivor is standing still, the body blocker, you can still hit them. So again, it's one of those things where it's like unnecessary, but it also is not a very big deal at the same time. Increase the slowdown effectiveness of the anti-camp system from 2 times to 3 times. Basically, all this means is you can't sit in Omnipresent Evil and face camp somebody. They just made it even more strict, so the bar goes up even faster. So, I mean, that's fine. Anything to discourage face camping, which is like the most boring thing in the game, I think is completely okay. So I'm not really hugely opposed to this, but technically it is a tiny nerf. So his add-ons were changed. He got more nerfs than buffs, which again, I felt kind of weird. He does not strike me as like a super oppressive killer. He was like a high B tier. He was good, but he wasn't like, amazing top tier, S tier, crazy shit that needs a bunch of nerfs. So I don't know. Toxic waste. The range was increased to 8 meters from 6 meters. This is a buff. Toxic waste was the add-on that made it so whenever you perform a jump scare, anyone that is within 6 meters of a hook, I think, 6 meters of a hook or scrap pile are inflicted with Oblivious. So they just increased that from 6 to 8. I mean, it's very minor, but that's something. Coroner's Coffee. Haste was decreased to 8%, was 13%. Now, Coroner's Coffee was one of my favorite add-ons. It's the one that makes it so when you throw a spear at somebody, they get pushed back even further, but it was counteracted by the fact that you would get 13% haste for 3 seconds. So yeah, they gain a bit more distance, but you gain a shit ton of haste to kind of counteract that. Now the haste was almost halved, and you still throw them that much further. So I mean, this add-on seems kind of shit. Unless you can specifically throw them into a wall to negate the bonus of throwing them further. This seems like almost a negative add-on to run. So I actually think that was a very stupid change. Bloody Magazine, range decreased from 8 meters to 13 meters. Bloody Magazine, I have to look up. Okay, it's the one where whenever you miss, everyone nearby screams, which is already not a good add-on, but they nerfed that for some reason. I don't know why. That add-on already was not good. So basically, if you miss your javelin throw, now people within 8 meters of it will scream. I don't know. That add-on was already not very good. I don't know why they nerfed it. Eye Goop, undetectable duration increased to 13 seconds. This is good. It's whenever you grab a hook spike, you gain undetectable. They buffed that by 4 seconds. That's a welcome change. I can't really have any, or I can't see any downside to that one. Iridescent Boat Motor was pretty buffed as well. the window block duration was increased to 13 seconds. It used to be 5 seconds. Basically, when you're in Omnipresent Evil, you can phase through a window and it'll basically mark it. And the next time you get a jump scare, the killer instinct thing on the survivors, then that window will be blocked for 13 seconds instead of 5. So that's a pretty sizable buff to that add-on, and that makes it a lot better. And you're a lot less reliant on running like Bamboozle, because that kind of almost has the full duration of that perk. So that's pretty good. Deputy's badge was also reworked, and I kind of like this rework. This seems pretty good. When you're in Omnipresent Evil mode, that's when you're just, going around the map in your ghost form, basically. All you have to do is walk next to a generator now, and it'll explode. So it is going to eat up a regression event, but that is some really nice drive-by slowdown, just to get a bunch of gens regressing very quickly. That's really nice quality of life. So that just feels like a very feel-good add-on to run if you're kind of more concerned about map pressure and gens going too fast and stuff like that. That actually seems pretty decent. Again, it's going to eat up your regression events pretty quickly, but it is regressing without you having to do anything other than just walk next to them while you're moving very fast. So I think that's actually pretty good, and I think that's going to be a very commonly used add-on. So one of his perks was kind of buffed. Silent Shadow, instead of 13 seconds of undetectable at the start of the match, it's now whenever you hook a survivor, which I think is a much better change. It's still, I think this 13-second limitation for the theming limited the perk from being too good. I'd rather just use something like Furtive Chase or something like that for the same, probably even better effect. I mean, 13 seconds of undetectable is enough to get you a decent amount of distance, I guess, but the problem is, on Jason, you're probably just going to be using Omnipresent Evil after you get a hook, so the undetectable doesn't matter. So on Jason, it's just kind of useless. On a couple of other killers, maybe it's good. I don't know. Combine it with like Hillbilly, with Apex Muffler, and do like something with that. I could see a couple of scenarios where this is not too bad, but overall, it's sort of whatever. Concerningly, they did not nerf some of the survivor perks. Default palette and then bring it back up one, I overestimated a little bit. It's still very good on like Shack Palette, especially if you combine it with Light. That's very, very good there. But the times I had it used against me were exactly those scenarios where I was at Shack Palette, they stunned me, and then they used Light to vault into me. I couldn't hit them. Shack Palette is back up again. I was like, wow, that's overpowered. So I still think it's very good, but you need a build basically surrounding it for that perk to get value. The perk that's really concerning that I thought was going to be good, but until I saw it in the actual game, I didn't realize how busted it is cross-examination. This is that perk where the killer leaves those light steps around the ground, and if you touch the light steps, then you are elusive, which means you just emit no forms of detection whatsoever other than the killer physically seeing your model. And the thing is, if you loop one time, the killer's light steps are going to be in your path. So you just loop one time, and now you have the greatest form of stealth in the entire game every single time you loop one time. It's too good. Cross-examination is just way too strong. It's the best stealth perk in the entire game. That shit needs to be nerfed. I really don't want to see it go live, but it seems like, because we're getting Jason in just a few days here, it seems like it's going to be unnerfed. So I am dreading, and I hate Lucky Break. People know how much I hate Lucky Break. This is like Lucky Break every loop and forever. So it's just so much worse to go against. I am dreading it, especially on indoor maps. Good fucking luck, man. But we'll see. I hope that perk gets nerfed, but overall, yeah, minor Jason nerfs, some tiny buffs, and then I think cross-examination needed to be nerfed and didn't. But that's the quick update. I am now going to blow my nose. Goodbye.